Tonight on CTV News at 5, black smoke billows in downtown air as a fire tears through the top of a building and crews fight the blaze in freezing temperatures. Plus, shoppers left shaken after a smash and grab at a jewelry store in Kitchener. Suspects fleeing before police arrive, taking off with an unknown amount of merchandise. And as the federal government launches a national conversation on men's and boys' health, we hear from a local expert about the new health strategy. CTV News at 5 starts right now. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. First at 5, we begin with a developing situation in Ayr this afternoon after a fire broke out just after 9 this morning at a building on Northumberland Street. Emergency crews saying one person was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. CTV's Jeff Pickle is standing by at the scene and joins us live now. Jeff.
Well, Colton, crews from North Dumfries Fire have been working on this fire all day in these very cold conditions since it broke out not long after 9:15. They've had pretty much a constant spray of water on this stubborn fire, also keeping an eye on the building next door, making sure it wasn't impacted. And not too long ago, they actually brought in a backhoe as well to start tearing in some holes into the side of this building to let it breathe a little bit more and get it under control. And we do have some video from earlier this morning, not long after the fire broke out, again around 9:15. You can see bright orange flames shooting from the second-story apartments. North Dumfries Fire confirming one person was injured after escaping from the second-story window. No one else was hurt, but fire officials say they do believe that there was some pets that did not make it out of the building. The fire and firefighting effort drawing a crowd for most of the day, with people who live and work close by describing the firefighting scene.
Pretty devastating for everybody. I think Ayr Village Pizza and ourselves at Hitched Coffee is probably going to lose a lot of valuable items inside. But no lives are lost, so I guess that's the most important thing right now.
So for everybody in a small town, it hits harder than it's going to hit for a bigger city, right? And it's just heartbreaking to know that it happens so close to home, right?
And firefighters do anticipate this building will have to come down. The fire damage is so extensive. People in the community say it's one of the oldest buildings, potentially the second oldest building in the community of Ayr, but that demolition will happen. Not exactly sure when, but it's likely it will have to come down in the near future. Colton?
Still some developing details. Thank you so much, Jeff. That's Jeff Pickle reporting live in Ayr. A jewelry store in Kitchener was robbed over the weekend. Waterloo Regional Police called to Highland Hills Mall around 3 Saturday afternoon. According to police, 3 unknown male suspects entered the store, smashed display cases, and stole an undisclosed amount of merchandise. Police believe they fled in a waiting getaway car and are asking the public for help with the investigation. A shocking Saturday afternoon in Kitchener after a robbery at a jewelry store in the Highland Hills Mall area.
Just sat down to get my nails done, and we heard the glass smashing. Got up and came out, and they were already running down the hallway back out of the mall. There was an elderly gentleman, caught some glass on his head, so helped escort him out, and just a bit of chaos.
Waterloo Regional Police posting online around 3:36 Saturday afternoon, saying there would be officers in the area of Highland Road West and Fisher-Hallman Road as they continue their investigation. Police confirmed the incident occurred at MT Jewelers and Goldsmiths.
You keep hearing about this happening, right? So it's when you're right next to it, it was a little bit, shaken up.
Few details have been released about the circumstances of the robbery or whether any suspects were caught. The jewelry store is located inside of a grocery store. Customers buying groceries told CTV News they were still able to purchase food following the incident, while police officers and security could be seen inside.
It does worry me to see such kind of police presence and the safety of our neighborhood. But we definitely do not want this kind of incidents happening more.
This isn't the first time MT Jewelers and Goldsmiths has been robbed. It was previously targeted in September 2024.
I would not want to stop coming, but if it's not safe, then yeah, it might change my decision.
Police say more information will be released as it becomes available and are asking anyone with information or video footage related to the incident to contact them. It's a case that has haunted the city of Brantford for decades. The community is now reacting after police made an arrest in the death of a baby that was found along a trail in the summer of 2005. The full-term newborn was named Baby Parker. Last week, police arrested the woman believed to be Baby Parker's mother, charging the 39-year-old with indignity to a body and concealing the body of a child. Baby Parker's death sparked Parker's Project, a local organization helping parents access support. Shaylin Wilson, a parent leader, says the news of the arrest brought a wave of emotion, but also served as a reminder about the struggles some parents face. She is now putting out a call for more resources, including safe surrender options for infants.
I really had to sit with it and put my emotions in check, because on one hand, I am so grateful that the police service cared enough to keep looking. On the other hand, I have always been terrified for his mother, because the community, a lot of it doesn't see any of this with compassion. They see it all with anger. And what Parker's mom needed 20 years ago might not look exactly like what we need right now. Parker is the inspiration for what I do today.
CTV's Hannah Schmidt will have more on the local reaction and the call for more support for parents and caregivers in need tonight at 6. Well, Ashley Bacon joining us now to talk a little bit about this weather. And Ashley, it's sunny as all can be, but still freezing.
It is still winter though, Colton. We still have about 2.5 to 2 3/4 weeks of winter left. Yes, but the good news is daylight saving happening this coming Sunday. So we are expecting a little more daylight after this week, which is great news, and hopefully that sun will stay out. The good news is we are looking at long-term warming temperatures.
That's what
we just
like
have to get through a couple more weeks, guys. We got this. Let's take a look at our satellite. You can see there's not a lot going on, which is great news. Nice clear skies expected to continue into the overnight hours. So you can get out, watch that blood moon rise early this morning. And looking at right now in Waterloo region, -4 is the temperature, east by southeast winds at 9 kilometers an hour. So not very windy out there, but already feeling a little cooler, like -9 at the moment. Let's take a look at downtown Kitchener this hour. You can see that sun, Colton, is still shining. The great news is sun setting after 6 p.m. now and rising before 7 a.m. So you're in for some more.
Big fan of that. Looking forward to hear what else we have later in the show. And here's what you need to know. Head over to Cafe Clementina tomorrow night for a self-love workshop to level up for 2026. The event runs from 6 to 8 at night. Tickets can be found online. CTV News continues in 2 minutes.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVKitchener.ca, your home for news.
Well, the federal government is launching a national strategy looking at men's and boys' health. To talk about it today is Dr. Matthew Tenenbaum, the Associate Medical Officer of Health at Wellington Dufferin Guelph Public Health. Thank you for joining me, Dr. Tenenbaum.
Thanks very much for having me today.
Well, first off, the federal government launching that national conversation, which will help develop Canada's first men and boys' health strategy. What exactly does that mean for men and boys in this country?
So I think what it means is that the federal government is going to be trying to take a strategy that will help focus on the needs of young men and boys as they exist in the country today. Obviously, the world is changing, times are changing, and maybe needs that are not being adequately met. And I think the goal of the strategy is to help make sure we understand what those needs are so that our health system can address them appropriately. I know the federal government's announced this strategy is going to be in development. They're looking for some input from the public over the next 3 months or so. And hopefully the outcome, the strategy that's developed as a consequence, is going to be useful to men and boys, as well as the entire community.
Yeah, I know it's still being developed, but the strategy is being applauded by mental health advocates who say it's long overdue. Locally, how is mental health addressed for men and boys? And how could this help?
So we know from data that we can look at nationally, provincially, as well as locally, that there's different ways that men and boys versus women and girls experience health. We know, for example, that about 70% of opioid deaths nationwide are in men as opposed to women. We know that men experience shorter life expectancy, higher rates of premature death, increased problems around things like suicide and gambling, substance use. So there's different kinds of health risks for men and women. I think this strategy helps create an opportunity for us to focus in on how some of those risks are experienced by men and boys specifically.
And you kind of mentioned it, but Canadians can now provide feedback on this strategy. But what kind of things are professionals looking for input on?
So I can't speak exactly to what is most relevant to Health Canada, but I think they're looking for certainly organizations and experts to provide their input from a place of knowledge to say, here is where it's worth focusing on, here are the kinds of health issues or the kinds of dimensions of experience that people are having. But I know that they're also looking for input from the public, and I understand there is a questionnaire or a survey you can fill out. So if you or someone near you is someone who feels strongly about this issue, you as a member of the public can still add your input, make your contribution to the strategy, hopefully ensuring that it reflects the broad needs of our society overall.
Yeah, I guess speaking of society overall, I know this is focused on men and boys, but how could this help society overall?
Well, I think that even though the strategy is focused on men and boys, it's not just about them, in the sense that anytime we have identified a particular group of people in our community who have particular needs, I'm of the opinion that we are all better off when we understand those needs and address them in a way that makes sense. So it's in everyone's interest to have a men's strategy. It's in everyone's interest to have a women's strategy, which we've had since about 1999. And anytime we find a particular group of people who are distinct, who have particular needs, it is worthwhile for us as a health system to understand them, think about them thoughtfully, and try to develop strategies that are tailored to what we've learned to make sure we're meeting the needs as they exist. Not everyone's going to have the same experience, but the more we understand the needs of different individuals and groups, the better able we all are to live our best health and contribute most to society around us.
And when we're speaking about mental health issues, what kind of struggles are there with staying silent about it?
Well, we know that people experience mental health differently between men and women, boys and girls, and also people have different ideas about what they feel comfortable sharing and how they can seek help for that. We know, for example, that men statistically are less likely to seek health care for some of these kinds of concerns than women. So it does affect their ability to get the kinds of help they might need, which may be a contributor to some of the data we're seeing around things like substance use and suicide, unfortunately. We also know that even just in our society overall, there is stigma around some of these mental health concerns, and men might experience that stigma in particular kinds of ways because of the gender norms that exist. It's worth thinking about those things and kind of taking an intersectional approach, thinking about how men in particular experience that, because that will help us develop and implement the best possible strategies.
Very interesting developing ideas for this strategy. Thank you so much for joining me, Dr. Tenenbaum.
Thank you very much.
Broken stick. Let's go Rangers!
Still ahead on CTV News at 5, a look at the final Highway 401 rivalry matchup of the season on Sunday as the Rangers look to win their division. And here's what you need to know. Who doesn't love a little art? EVO Kitchen is hosting Paint Night, Jewel of Paris, starting tomorrow night at 6:30. Tickets are $45. Stay with us.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Okay, Ashley's back to talk about the weather, and we're having a debate. Would you rather have rain fall down or snow fall down? Because this week,
it's going to be rainy. We're getting into warmer temperatures, so that's not too bad. But I think snow is a little easier to deal with personally.
I like the rain because you can just continue
It goes
on.
away.
Yeah, it goes away.
Yeah, that's fair. Totally fair. Let's take a look outside at some sunny conditions coming in from air this afternoon. Oh my goodness, look at a little breeze. Nice light day, not a cloud in the sky. You would think it's warm, but it says -4 there for air at the moment, and continuing to get a little cooler. It has been an absolutely beautiful start to the work week, and of course, it's our first week in March. If you can believe it or not, we are already there, just a few weeks away from spring. But we have to get through some more winter weather before we can officially declare spring. Let's take a look at our futurecast. Nice clear skies all throughout the region. Now that's going to continue into overnight conditions. So if you are looking for a nice shot of the blood moon tonight, we might have some pretty clear skies to do so. However, by around 8 a.m., some cloud cover is expected to make its way through the region. Now, we might see some spotty flurry activity through the day. We're going to hover right around 1 degree tomorrow. So that's when we could see some rain, could see some flurries. The good news is it's not expected to stick around, because by Wednesday, we are looking at clear skies yet again and warming conditions. Right now, across the country, a very comfortable 9 degrees and sunny in Vancouver. Over the Rockies, -9 in Edmonton. As we get through the Prairie Provinces, -3 in Regina, -3 as well in Winnipeg. As we get closer to home in our nation's capital, -7 in Ottawa with a bit of cloud cover, and over on the East Coast, sun setting already in St. John's and -9. Here in Kitchener-Waterloo, we are currently sitting at -4, but it is starting to feel a little cooler with the wind chill, around -9 at the moment. Now that's going to continue to drop overnight. We are looking at a low of -10. Feeling closer to -17 with the wind chill, but as mentioned, clear skies are expected, so perfect for stargazers if you're heading out. Tomorrow, 1 degree is our expected daytime high, with a little bit of flurry potential. Looking at our almanac, back in 1991, we reached a record 13.4 degrees, so we're not nearly as warm as that, but we are expected to get close to that by the end of the week. Sun setting now at 6:12 p.m. as we just saw nice clear skies out in air. We might even get a sunset shot during our 6 p.m. show if you stick around. Looking at our first at 5 forecast for Waterloo region, flurries, as I mentioned, for tomorrow. Sunny conditions by Wednesday, a high of 4 degrees. For Thursday, check out the overnight low, though, not getting below 0, which is great news. Friday, warming conditions continue with a high of 8. And then Colton, by Saturday, 10 degrees and showers is expected.
Not huge on the precipitation, but I will take those warmer temperatures. Thank you so much, Ashley. New rules are now in effect for travelers heading to the UK. As of last week, those with dual Canadian UK citizenship must have a British passport, while citizens who are solely Canadian need an electronic travel authorization, or ETA. The government says the new rules will help streamline the immigration system, speed it up, and make it more secure. But it's left some dual citizens here in Waterloo region scrambling to try and get British passports in time for their upcoming trips.
Even though my wife and my family are very proud of our British heritage and very proud to be a dual citizen, it has been an incredible challenge and a lot of stress, especially when we've got flights booked for June.
At 6, CTV's Alexandra Hollick speaks with a travel agent and breaks down the rules for those looking to go across the pond. And before we go to break, here's what you need to know. Learn about wine at the Norm Hardy wine tasting event happening at the French Cambridge Wednesday night. It starts at 6:30. Tickets are $95. CTV News at 5 continues after this. Okay, time now to take a look at our final 5 stories we're following for today. A new study suggests there has been a sharp rise in young men contacting Ontario's helpline for gambling-related problems. The study, published in the Canadian Medical Association Journal, examined the province's 24-hour mental health and addictions helpline, tracking the number of contacts for boys and men between 15 and 24 years old from January of 2012 to September of 2025. They say there were notable increases following the expansion of private online gambling in April of 2022. Using drones to fight fires. That's the goal of a nationwide competition that a team from the University of Waterloo is set to compete in. The Waterloo Aerial Robotics Group has until May to fine-tune their drone to show that it can accomplish tasks like identifying targets and spraying them with water. They'll be graded against approximately 20 other Canadian schools. The purpose is to see how these drones can assist firefighters in real-life scenarios. CTV's Spencer Turcott brings us the full story at 6. A curler from a small town near Tillsonburg is living out his dream on one of the sport's biggest stages. Jaden King is competing in his first Brier in Newfoundland this week. The 23-year-old is also the first black skip to ever compete in the event. Coming up at 6, CTV's Karis Mapp will hear from King's former curling club about how his impact is inspiring others to get involved in the game. And the Highway 401 rivalry heating up for the final time of the regular season on Sunday. Kitchener hosting London at the Odd for a matinee matchup. Lots of Rangers fans at this one, but a few Knights faithful sprinkled in the crowd. London got the first laugh with a shorthanded goal early in the second period, but both teams have already clinched a playoff spot, and fans from either teams are excited for their chances.
Oh, it is so good. Like, this rivalry gets intense every time I come here. I'm confident. It's going to be exciting to be in the playoffs. I just want to say, let's go Rangers!
They're definitely going to have a harder path to get to that level again. There's enough desire. There's a lot of young guys that are trying to prove themselves, especially for the upcoming draft, so I think it could be fun. We've gotten a lot of comments just on our jerseys walking around, so it's been pretty fun.
Now, Kitchener battled back to win this meeting with London, potting 2 empty net goals, 4-1 the final. Then even after the final whistle, the rivalry continued with some rough stuff. Kitchener is now officially the Midwest Division champions, the 9th time in franchise history. The Rangers next play on Wednesday in Sarnia.
Excellent.
And Waterloo Regional Police also showing off their hockey skills on Sunday. Law enforcement taking on some talented NHL alumni at the Galt Arena Gardens in Cambridge. Part of the NHL Alumni Benefit Hockey Tour, this game supports the law enforcement torch run for Special Olympics Ontario. Stars like Theo Peckham, Rob Schremp, Luke Gazdick, Brian McGrattan, and Keith Acton representing the alumni. Organizers say it's a great event that helps raise much-needed funds so Special Olympics athletes can keep competing.
It's a huge thing. We've been working with the torch run for over 25 years throughout the province. Cambridge being one of our biggest games, and it's actually closing out our season this year. So it's a real pleasure to do it in Canada's oldest NHL or oldest hockey arena.
We have over 35,000 athletes in the province, which we try to maintain. We are one of the largest contributors to Special Olympics International, but it's a big bonus, and we love it. It's like an addiction. When you get involved in it, you don't want to stop.
Now, McElveen adds anyone looking to donate to Special Olympics Ontario can do so online or by calling the organization. As for the hockey game, the Blue Crew fell short, NHL alumni winning 5-1 in the end. Well, that's our time. Thanks so much for watching. We'll have more local news coverage coming up at 6 o'clock. But first, here's CTV National News.